What's God calling you to do today? Because the legacy you dream of leaving will start with your yes. And it'll almost every single time be, I'm calling you to this, and you don't get to know how it's gonna turn out. I'm just a guy who said yes. You said you had a plan for me, God. I downgraded my living like crazy, but now I'm in a famine, and the Bible said severe. He wanted to make sure we understood this is not just a famine, this is a severe famine, which means Abraham and anyone he loves, including his wife Sarah, might starve to death. We read this stuff so quick because we know the other side of it, a bunch of us. Listen, picture it. Wait, God, what? I don't understand. Did I hear you wrong? Like, did you stop paying attention? Did I mess up somewhere along the way and now the calling's off? No, his word says your calling is irrevocable. But what we feel is, wait a sec, I said yes, and look around, nothing is working out. All I tried to do was say yes, and now my wife might starve to death? Are you kidding me? Do you not care about me? You don't think he thought about going home? But he didn't. He kept saying yes, even though nothing made sense. Here's what I've realized. I was thinking about this week, and I was reading this and trying to process it, and I was like, wait a sec. I've never talked to one person who has felt like God has called them to do something and they took a step of faith and then everything worked out perfect. Never one. And then I went, wait, let's take it a step further. I've never read a Bible story where one of the heroes of faith said, okay, God, this is crazy and you're not giving me all the details, but I know it in my heart, I'll say yes. I've never read one story where they said yes and then chaos didn't break out. Not one. And I think that's why he snuck this verse in Hebrews. He says, well, while he's talking about all these men and women of faith, he says, hey, without faith, it's impossible to please me. Without faith, it's impossible to walk in your calling because, see, you're broken people in a broken world, and what I'm calling you to is going to be problematic, and there's gonna be highs and there's gonna be lows. There's gonna be some times when you go, I think I am in the valley of the shadow of death. I'm not gonna get you around it. I'm gonna walk through it with you. You won't stay in the valley. I'll be there with you, but when I call you, expect problems. Listen, can I just say, if that's you, like, if you're going, man, I thought you said, do this, God, and now look. Like, I thought you said to only date certain kind of people and live pure. Still single. I thought you said to take this other job and take a risk. Look what my family's going through because of that. I thought you said, I just got a diagnosis. I thought you said to give, and I was faithful, and I was tithing, and now we got all these problems. Like, if that's you, can I just remind you that you're in real good company? God asked Noah to build an ark, and he said yes, and you know what he got? Every single person in his life mocked him, made fun of him, despised him, and looked down on him. You don't think there's a day when he's out there building an ark and it's never even rained before that he's going, thanks a lot for this one, God. Moses was asked, go risk your life, go to the most powerful man on the planet and demand that he lets the whole nation of Israel go out of a 300-400 years worth of slavery. Like, go demand it and risk your life. And he goes, and the first 9 times he gets shut down. You don't think he felt ridiculous? Thanks a lot for sending me there, God. God didn't tell. We read the story and we know that there were 10 plagues. He didn't. All he knows is this is the 9th time I've tried to listen, and God doesn't seem to care. The disciples one day, Jesus said, guys, go get on a boat and go to the other side of the water, and I'll meet you over there. And they go and they get in a storm and they think they're gonna die. The storm was so bad. And you know what they're thinking? Jesus told us to do this. Well, I thought we could trust this guy. Why would he tell us to do something that puts our lives in danger? Abraham, why would he call me to something that I don't even know if we're gonna have food this week? Why would he call me to start a nation, which means we got to have a kid, and now it's 24, 25 years after the promise. I'm about 100 and my wife is barren and can't medically have children. How are we supposed to sit in this? You know what every single one of those stories has in common though? They kept saying yes. They didn't go home. They refused to quit. And then in God's perfect, miraculous timing, he did unbelievable miracles in and through their life. They've left legacies that we're still talking about, legacies that allowed them to change the world. And if every single one of them, if we could put them on stools up here today, they'd beg you, Red Rocks Church, don't you dare give up. Don't you dare quit. He called you. He's got a plan. Stay in there. Keep saying yes. There's one day you'll be glad you did. What's God calling you to do? What's your legacy gonna look like? And would it be possible for some of you to say yes today? Would it be possible for some of you in the middle of crazy stuff that's going on to keep saying yes today and go, God, help me walk in humility. I'm not giving up. You called me, you loved me, you chose me. I'm gonna keep going. We can do that, church. And together, our yeses pooled together, we're gonna go change the world. You believe me?